warm welcome to you all to this episode of Rewind 2019, where we take a look back at the major events that shaped our national landscape and that we will remember the year that went by for.
Election years are memorable for obvious reasons, and 2019 threw us quite a few surprises, starting with the fantastic return to power of the Bharatiya Janata Party that won a simple majority of 303 seats in the Lok Sabha. Not only the BJP but Prime Minister Narendra Modi also scripted history this year, becoming only the third incumbent Prime Minister after Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi, and the first non-Congress Prime Minister to return to power with a full majority.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी भाजपा के मुख्यालय में आ चुके हैं.
The first major decision that the NDA government took upon return to power was to pass the Triple Talaq law that made giving instant talaq, a practice prevalent among some sections of Muslims, a criminal offence. This law was unable to clear the passage in Rajya Sabha twice during the previous tenure of the NDA government. On 5th of August, the Modi Sarkar made one of the biggest decisions of its current tenure by revoking the special status of Jammu and Kashmir and bifurcating the border state into two union territories. The map of the state of Jammu and Kashmir now figures Jammu and Kashmir as one union territory with a legislature and Ladakh as another union territory without a legislature. Fast forward to December, when another major decision, this time on citizenship, was taken by the BJP government. With the passage of the contentious Citizenship Amendment Law, the government facilitated citizenship for minorities who faced religious persecution in the predominantly Islamic countries of Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. This law sparked nationwide protests by people who allege that the law, along with the National Register of Citizens, was designed to disenfranchise Muslims. The updated and final National Register of Citizens was released on August the 31st in Assam. This list contained the names of all those people who were identified as genuine Indians with documents to prove it. Those left out were approximately 1.9 million applicants who, failing to prove their citizenship, may now be shifted to detention camps for being illegal immigrants. Later in the year, the NRC and citizenship law sparked nationwide agitations. Ending decades-old litigation, on November 9th, the Supreme Court ordered that a Ram Mandir will be built on the disputed site in Ayodhya, while the Muslim parties will be given a 5-acre alternate land for the construction of a mosque. 18 review petitions were filed against this verdict. On December 12th, the top court dismissed all of these. Now let's turn back to the events following 23rd of May, when Prime Minister Modi-led NDA government registered its historic victory. The main opposition, Congress, was reduced to 52 seats, while the Congress-led United Progressive Alliance got 91 seats, proving no match for the BJP or the NDA. This led to the then Congress chief Rahul Gandhi to take responsibility for the party's defeat and resign from his post despite much resistance from his party. Rahul's mother, Sonia Gandhi, then took over as the interim Congress chief, while insisting that the next leader of the Congress would be chosen through an election. Also, in what came as a great face loss for Rahul Gandhi was the defeat from party bastion of Amethi, where BJP's Smriti Irani emerged as the giant killer. However, Rahul managed to secure his place in the Lok Sabha by contesting from a second safe seat in Kerala's Wayanad and winning it. In one of the most dramatic events of the year, former Union Finance Minister and senior Congress leader P. Chidambaram was arrested overnight after CBI officials reached his house and tried to scale the walls of his residence to take the leader in custody for alleged wrongdoing and money laundering during his tenure as a union minister. Chidambaram spent 106 days in jail and faced several rounds of questioning by the ED in the INX media case. He finally received conditional bail from the Supreme Court on the 4th of December. The first electoral upset to the BJP was in Maharashtra, where despite securing a comfortable majority with alliance partner Shiv Sena, the BJP could not form a government in the state after a disagreement with the Sena over the chief ministerial post. Even as BJP was certain of a turnaround with the Shiv Sena, the latter reached out to rival NCP and ideologically divergent Congress for support to form the government. After nearly a month of uncertainty, people woke up on the morning of 23rd of November to the uncanny visual of Devendra Fadnavis and NCP leader Ajit Pawar taking oath as Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister respectively. The BJP had overnight staked claim to form government with rebel NCP MLAs who were apparently with Ajit Pawar. What followed was a scramble by the NCP and its mammoth leader Sharad Pawar to get back the rebels to the party fold and also pacify his nephew Ajit. Sharad emerged stronger and won Ajit over, and the Fadnavis-led government lasted only 80 hours. This led to the Shiv Sena, NCP and Congress alliance called the Maha Vikas Aghadi taking the reins of the state with Uddhav Thackeray as the chief minister. The political situation in Karnataka finally settled down when a majority government led by the BJP was voted to power after the December 5 by-polls to 15 seats, which were left vacant after rebel MLAs of the Congress and JDS defected to the BJP, pulling down the coalition government. B.S. Yediyurappa became the chief minister again, and H.D. Kumaraswamy bowed out with a 14-month stint as chief minister. Along with Maharashtra, the 90-member Haryana Assembly polls were held on 21st October with results declared on 24th October, in which the BJP won 40 seats and formed a coalition government with Dushyant Chautala's JJP, which secured 10 seats. Manohar Lal Khattar became chief minister for a second tenure. Bhupinder Singh Hooda-led Congress improved its fortunes, winning 31 seats, but could not form the government. India's GDP dropped to 4.5% in the July-September quarter of 2019 to 2020. Despite the government's sustained efforts to heal the economy through various policies and schemes. Amid the gloomy economic picture, the government set a target of achieving a $5 trillion economy by the year 2024. Critics argue that this is a distant dream, but Prime Minister Modi stressed on December 20th that the goal was achievable and that India will emerge from the current economic slump stronger. February 14th will be remembered as one of the darkest days in Indian history when 40 of our soldiers were martyred in a terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama. The attack was orchestrated by the Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed group. 12 days after the attack, the Indian Air Force entered Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and smoked out terror camps in Balakot in an undercover operation. Following India's strike on the Balakot terror camp, Pakistan sent its fighter jets to target Indian military establishments. India sent MiG-21s after Pakistani F-16s to chase them back across the border. In the skirmish, Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman managed to shoot down a Pakistani F-16 jet, but his own aircraft was also brought down in Pakistani territory during the dogfight. He was captured by Pakistan forces, kept captive for 60 hours and then returned to India. Wing Commander Abhinandan was lauded for his exemplary courage and dignity. Following this, Indo-Pak ties, which were strained to begin with, went further downhill. India refused dialogue with Pakistan as long as terror was used as an instrument of state policy. Lastly, India displayed its technological prowess by attempting a soft landing of the Chandrayaan-2 on the dark side of the moon on the 7th of September. Although the landing was unsuccessful as glitches occurred at the last stage of descent, but the very near miss paved the way for bigger space explorations. India is now gearing up for a manned space mission dubbed the Gaganyaan by December 2021.
So those were the defining moments of 2019. Let us know what you think was the moment that stood out for India in the bygone year. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and share it. A very happy New Year 2020 to all our viewers.